Good evening and welcome to another Monday Night Live. Simon and I do this every week, 6 p.m. We talk about golf swings and we talk about equipment and a little bit about the world of golf. Lottie Woad doing it again, winning on the Ladies European Tour. The Lioness is winning the football and someone winning in America, Katayama.
Kitayama, yeah. And Harrington with the Senior Open.
And Harrington with the Senior Open. Just up the road here, the Senior Open at Sunnydale. Nice to see Rory walking around and supporting his fellow Irishman. Great weekend of golf, great weekend of sport. Obviously the F1 as well, but we're not here to talk about all of these other sports. We're here to talk about golf. So if you would like to send us any questions, we've got the two iPads here, the iPad for good golf coaching and precision golf. Fire away with the questions and we will get those answers. So we are going to get straight into those this week. We're not going to mess around with the world of golf. You haven't heard or tuned in to talk about that. Let's get straight into Martin Williams. He has asked, hi, is it possible to get a tour adapter that will lower the loft by 2 degrees for an elite driver? Would it fit into an elite mini driver as well?
Yes and yes. Yeah. They've changed the adapters very slightly. There was one that was 2 degrees flat that went 2 degrees lower loft, but actually now there's a 2 degrees flat that has the same adjustments as the normal one, so it's only 1 degree lower loft. But yeah, you can get that for any of the woods, so certainly possible to get that, yeah.
Fantastic. No questions coming in as yet, so let's get playing some holes.
Right,
Let's
think
get
where?
playing,
Trying to think, where are they? Oh no, we haven't got a fourth call on here.
Yeah, the ladies
Open at
Ladies
Porth Call
Open,
this
yeah,
week.
Open, yeah.
Let's see what we've got. Right.
It's a cracker of the golf course. We've got Tony, by the way, fired in a question. Evening, gents. Evening, Tony. Good to have you back. Nice to be back. How do you judge when a player doesn't have enough ball speed to gap correctly with a given iron, so needs a split set, and where to break between models? Thank you.
Generally looking at about a 5 mile an hour gain, really want 5 miles an hour progression, and then it's just a question, do they have enough flight as to whether, so you can choose a different head style for an iron with a little bit of tech and a bit of help, and if that doesn't give you enough, then you go to a hybrid to gain a bit of club speed by going lighter as well. So it's really looking at what kind of launch and spin have they got, because if you haven't got enough speed, you won't get the height to get the carry gain. So it's a bit of ball flight, a little bit of ball speed, and really testing. We've got 4 iron and 6 iron heads here, so we can look at the 2 options and gauge it from there.
Fantastic, fantastic. What golf course have you got on the agenda? What have we got there?
There's something a little look through. I mean, I was thinking in honour of those that visited this last week, we do have Hong Kong Golf Club. Some friends from Hong Kong the last couple of weeks.
Let's do it. I've never played
Not
it.
very wide, but we'll give that a go.
Yeah, perfect, and not too long either. Had enough of playing long golf courses at 8,000 yards. Kevin Phillips asks, if I play an SF 110CW in my irons, what weight range should I look for in my wedges? Any suggestions that match that profile? Many thanks.
So what was the sorry? What was the shaft?
The shaft was an SF 110CW.
Of course, yeah. The steel fibres. Yeah. So I was thinking of SF, like some of the other notations. I would say probably want to go. It's generally about 10 grams or so. So those are 110. You want a bit more feel for the club head. I'd potentially go. You could go to something like a KBS, the High Rev 115. That's 5 or 6 grams heavier. If that's not quite heavy enough, then what would I go to? Interesting one at 120 odd grams. Modus 115, but that might feel a little bit bawdy. But that kind of ballpark, 115, 120 grams. And it depends how much feel. But balance point wise, the High Rev is probably the best option.
Very good, very good. Gary Satterfield has just popped up. Let's have a little look. See what he has to offer. My sister's coming over at the weekend, Gary. Hi guys, hey Stu. I meant to ask you after you made your big announcement, I'm assuming you're going to neglect your contractual obligation and not caddy for me on the Miller Light Tour. Yeah, you know, look, you're going to be out on the Seniors Tour as well, are you not? Drop the Miller Tour, just come out on the Seniors Tour. Caddy for me, why not? I said that I'm gonna. So I turn
You've still got
49
another
next
10
week.
years, haven't you?
Yeah, optimistic. So I turn 49 next week. This week. And
Time
so
goes quick.
Yeah, so I've got 18 months before I can then qualify for the senior tour. So I'm going to do a little once a month, maybe more, videos on just sort of preparing. I'm going to have a go at qualifying score. I don't have aspirations to play a full schedule, but having a go at the senior
nice to have a
tour,
target, isn't
yeah,
it?
absolutely, yeah. So I did a little video on that. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's a pretty hole. It's rather narrow
To
as
look
well.
at, yeah.
It's
So,
rather narrow
so we
as
got
well.
who is it first? Is it
You're
it's
up.
me? Yeah.
4,
I'll
6,
pick that one.
7.
Well, so we got yeah, basically got to just just got to hit it long and straight, haven't you?
Yeah, super narrow. So while Simon does
Par 4, stroke index 1, first hole, brutal.
that, index 1. Oh my goodness. Michael Ocean, Diamana WB compared to the new Ventus Blue or Black in the driver? Question mark.
So the whiteboard series sits kind of either side on weight. So they're 60. If it's in the 60s, it's 62 to 65 grams, 70, 72 to 74 grams. They're a pretty tighter feeling shaft, I think. The whiteboard is classic whiteboard profile, stiff bottom end, but a fairly, it's not overly harsh in the butt section until you get to the stiffer flexes where that really ramps up. So in the X flexes, it's a very, very firm profile all the way through. The Ventuses are probably a slightly smoother feel, the handle end on the Black softer, and swings slightly heavier to weight. But all really good shafts, but you will find that one will just time better than the other, and that's the one you should go for.
Fab. Full tests and club tests, we'll do it in the second half of the session. So if you do want anything tested by Simon, fire them in and we'll do it in the second half hour. And we'll maybe play a few holes in the first half an hour while we answer the questions.
All right.
So, we've gone straight with driver.
Oh, it's got the front up. If you're going to hit it in the soup or in the bundu, hit it a long way up.
A long way down there, yeah. Fresh off the back of a very good score of 65 was it Friday?
It was, yeah, actually with the fine gentlemen who are from Hong Kong, who inspired me to
Look at that.
a score of which the only downside is I think they might think that that's normal, which it definitely isn't.
Stripes down the middle, look at that. That's absolute humdinger, that one. Absolute humdinger, nice drive.
So you're going to be documenting your progress? Is it going to be scores? Is it going to be is it going to be about kind of what you're doing to prepare?
Yeah, so I'm going to do stuff in the sim upstairs, just hitting balls. So I did a video, half an hour of just me hitting 7-irons. Didn't talk much, just hit shots. And then I'm going to gradually build maybe a bit on the golf course, a bit more upstairs, preparing that kind of thing. Just as a bit of a journey, really, and something a little bit different than just standing on the mat and teaching technique. So, so all of a sudden, playing is a little bit more serious, which is nice. Which is nice, yeah. Ooh, needs to sit down a little. That's a little on the left side. Straight cold with a driver.
I was going to say I had a few 6-iron swings as usual before we came on.
Lack of preparation.
So with where your game is now and what you where you want it to get to, which bit of your game do you think is going to require the most
putting?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I hit it pretty straight when I play.
Yeah.
I think of the difference. I'm playing with Mark and a couple of pals on Sunday. The reality is you're preparing and being match fit is different to just playing casual golf, right? And feeling a bit edgy over a 3-footer or a 5-footer that's for a par and stuff like that.
Yeah, very different feel.
100%, 100%. Yeah. Oh dear. So what have we got? Oh my God, got 230 to go. That's not ideal. That's not ideal.
So actually, good question here. Tony, by the way, we'll come back to that one about the T150, T250 and Mizuno 245 heads. Papa B, hello young men. I noticed that the Strixon ZXI series irons appear to be a quarter-inch longer than most other companies' irons. Can we explain the pros and cons for longer or shorter iron shafts? So I mean, longer. A lot of the brands, if they're going to go longer, they do it because it's more club speed, more distance. So actually, Ping in some of their more forgiving models have gone from half-inch increments to 5/8 of an inch at the top end, which to me doesn't make any sense because you're making longer irons which are already harder to hit. So, but the theory is more club speed, more distance. Now, I would do it purely on postural. You've got to get strike. Strike's more important than a 1/4 inch in shaft length. So if a longer length is harder to hit, then you should be in the shorter length. And you're always fitting to what someone's posture and physical stature require from a length point of view, and then their ball striking ability. So if ball striking is more of a challenge, then you go as short as you can manage, especially if you need longer than standard. If someone's got an injury, then you have to go longer to allow them to stay in posture. But longer often just results in harder to hit, and therefore there's no real need for it for most golfers, unless obviously you're tall.
Martin Williams, hi again. Which Venter shaft would be similar to an Aqua Green GX250 M3?
Ventus-wise, the closest you're going to get would be the red and the 5 in the reg. So you've got a bit of response from it. All the Velocore shafts, whilst the red is the most tip responsive, it's still a mid to low spin shaft. It's not a high launch, high spin shaft. The structure just isn't that way. But from a feel and a weight and a responsiveness point of view, that will be the closest one.
Very good, very good. I'm making a Horlicks of the first here. Absolute Horlicks.
So I've got a back left, it's overhanging branch, back left pin.
How's that for a first hole?
Balls below my feet, so, right, okay. Right. Smooth 6, I think.
Very good. Get down. Get down.
That's about what I was doing on Friday.
Carried it on. Filthy. Filthy. I'm going to need shots at this rate. Hopefully I can get... Yeah, this is not nice. Can you swivel the dude around? I should have done that on my...
We find the cursor, there we go.
There you go.
Will that let you see out? There's a hole there. If we go for that bit, there we go. Yep.
For you, that was gonna turn ugly if I didn't get that out. That was gonna turn ugly.
Right. So let's get back to questions. Louis Gocher, evening guys. Questions surrounding flex of iron shafts. Typically, what's the minimum swing speed where you'd fit into regular and stiff shafts? Is there a situation where regular is good for tempo? I don't actually fit to flex that way. Flex is actually, between a regular and stiff, for me, is pretty unimportant in the performance of the product. It wouldn't actually fit. You fit flex for a bit more feel, but ultimately the weight and the balance and the timing is going to override anything that flex can do. So between a regular and a stiff, you're looking at 2 to 5% of the bend of the shaft. That's not enough to physically change the ball flight enough to see a tangible difference. So unless the dead weight stays the same and you're fitting for a stiffer profile for someone who's got a more aggressive transition who will like a stiffer feel, one or other, because there's normally about a 5 to 10 gram variation in weight, one or other will just swing better. So flex, I don't use flex in that way in the fitting because it just doesn't have the effect that I think you believe it does.
Very good. Nice birdie up the first, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nicely played.
It's very kind, gave me the putt.
I know it did. I know it did. Who did you just ask?
Louis Gocher.
Louis Gocher.
Where was it? Oh, so there might have been a couple. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. David. We've done Michael Ocean. Macro09. Hi, gents. Hope all is well. Does Simon know whether there are many differences between the new Titleist T350s and the Paradigm X irons?
T350s are designed to retain a bit more. I mean, they're both strong hitting irons. 350s, I think you might find are a little bit more forgiving. Paradigm X were good. T350s, I like to launch just a touch higher, but across the face, a little bit more consistency for me on 350s. But both very good heads, both strong hitting. Titleist have changed the grooves on their irons this year to retain a bit more spin out of rough and in the shorter irons. But outside of that, I think it's just a case you're just going to have to test to compare. But both very forgiving here. 350 is more forgiving than most people think, actually.
EVD would like you to hit some shots, so we'll do that in the second half. Golf Nerd, did you enjoy watching the Open?
Oh, I love the Open. The only shame was the weather was a bit benign at the weekend. I'd have loved to have seen a bit more, slightly more testy conditions, because I think that would have brought. I don't think Scheffler was ever coming back to them, but he might not have got as far ahead, and it just became. This is going to sound ridiculous with golf. Became too easy for him to manage it because he's just that good. So I'd have liked some tougher conditions, but outside of that, I thought the course was brilliant.
Yeah, I think we're in a bit of a thing with Scotty Scheffler that he doesn't really give you too much. So it doesn't particularly sex up the coverage. So for me, I enjoyed it until the last day, probably.
Yeah.
It got a little bit boring.
Well, when he birdied the first, that was it. You just knew.
Yeah. He really made it. He sort of ran away with it, didn't he? So I did enjoy it up until, as I say, up until the Sunday. I think would be my.
What I did enjoy seeing was Hao Tong Lee. I thought, what a lot of fun he brings to the game. He's got character. He talks to the golf ball. He's. The way they're just laughing away on the 17th tee, I think that's something that's great to see. Someone who's enjoying being out there. Yeah,
I think most guys are like that. I think he's just a bit more. I think his interviews are probably what gets him the attention, right? And his broken English that he does a really great job of course.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's been through a tough time with his game. I think when someone's been through a tough time with their game, they have certainly a different outlook at it second time around, right? Yeah. So I think there's a lot of empathy because we've all battled with the game, and then seeing him back there with Scotty Scheffler, it was great to see, wasn't it? Yeah, it was really good to see. All right.
Good question after this one from Simon Muggleton. He says, hi guys, hope you're both doing well. We are, thank you very much. Need a tip for heavy rough. Grass is growing against you. Do you alter grip pressure? If so, just left hand. He's a right-handed golfer. Or do you change ball placement? Or is it just strength?
Bit of all of that, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, that all sounds viable. Yeah.
The trouble you've got is, I mean, on tour, one of the biggest no-nos is ever going long. Because when you go long, invariably you've got the whole of the field walking off the back of the green, because they'll put a funnel of where the players walk off the back. So you've got all of the deep rough growing away from the green. And so you're chipping back the other way. All this grass is laid down and it's brutal. You can play it a few ways. You can play it like a bunker shot. Depends on how heavy the grass is laying towards you. So you can play it like a bunker shot. So you'd physically try and hit it fat, and the reason why you do that is so that you can get some speed at it, because of course if you're playing a short shot with the grass lying against you, it's easy to play a little delicate one. You get a few blades of grass and you just leave it in front of you. That's what you can do around the green. But if you're playing an iron shot out of the rough, drop it back, grip it harder and swing it like Billio, and obviously take more club. But then you take more club, then you've got less loft, so it's tricky one.
I think just get it back into play is optimum number one. But yeah, as you say, I think all of the above. Grip it tight, hit it hard and hope.
Oh, it gave me a birdie.
Yeah, three putted me.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, harsh.
Oh my goodness, I'm in the lead.
Are you?
I'm even par, you're one over.
No, -1.
No, positive. Oh,
it's doing some handicap thing.
what?
I don't know. There's some kind of handicap thing. I don't know. We'll work it out. David O, hello gentlemen from the west coast of the US. Can you make a recommendation? The graphite iron shaft at 90-95 grams plays like an Axiom 75 stiff. Well, they are adding the Axiom in a 90 gram, 90 or 95. That's just launching now, so that is going to be available soon. Outside of that, I would probably say in a 95, and the MMTs, the Mitsubishis are a little bit, they tend to swing a little bit heavier, but that wouldn't be a million miles off. I think that would be a solid option for a 95-gram version of something that feels a bit more like an Axiom 75.
Man, I've got the lefts going on. All right.
And Macca 09. The Wilson heads are much heavier than the new T150s. The Dyna forged are. The CBs are a little heavier. The blades are the only ones that aren't, but it's the big shame with the Wilson stuff. The irons are blooming heavy. But the Dyna forged are a lot heavier, like 6-7 grams. So yeah, it's why we don't do many of them. Now, in a penalty area. Take a drop or re-hit?
Oh no, re-hit. I'll re-hit. I'll re-hit. Have another go at trying to find a fairway. It's quite tight, this place, isn't it?
Yes.
It's good. It's good. Oh, I've hit it even further left. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. Is that in a penalty area as well?
No, actually.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Well, I'm definitely re-hitting that one.
So this is now where that I will conquer this shot.
Yes, I'm definitely not having that. What's that? Now 5 off the tee. Oh no. You saw it here first.
This is a tin cup moment here.
Yeah.
He's only got one ball there.
Yeah. Oh, I've hit it left
Speaking
again.
of that, have you seen the Happy Gilmore film?
No, I have not. I switched it on. I watched for about 30 seconds. And I thought, I'm not in the mood for this. So I stuck Curb Your Enthusiasm back on.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh, there's a penalty area there as well.
No, it's not. Still another penalty area.
I thought you'd come out there. Are you?
I'm going to go one more time.
Right.
I'm going to go one more time. Stay with me. This has now become a range session. I'm going to have to hit a fade down there now and then.
No, I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, it's just full of silliness, isn't it? Really, I think that's you've got to be in the. As you say, in the
Charlie
right
in
mood.
it? Is Charlie in it?
Yeah, basically there's.
Barely anyone who's not in it.
Everyone's in it.
It's only you and me and James that's not in it.
I know. We're the only celebs not in.
If that goes out, I'm done for. Oh no, that can't. I mean, there can't be a hazard on the left edge of the fairway, is there?
Well, that looks like it should be in play. Doesn't have the word drop on there. We're good.
Oh God. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not good at all.
I can get this out of the way quickly.
Yeah.
I've now got many shots of not good.
Yeah.
not good,
No, you're okay. You've
not good
got,
chi.
You've got.
I'm gonna aim right.
Lewis Goach, we've done that one. David O. Hello, gentlemen from the West Coast. Welcome.
Yeah, done that
Welcome.
one.
Can you make a recommendation? The graphite iron shaft at 90 to 95 grams plays like an Axiom 75 stiff.
Just done that one. Got to get that whilst you're hitting your 14 drives.
Matt Gibson, evening both. Post a fitting, how much would the improvement or change of swing path delivery affect that fit down the line?
It depends how much it is. It really is one of those where if you change your delivery line by 3 or 4 degrees and the face angle by 3 or 4 degrees, then it will affect launch and spin. If this is something that the fitter knew about the time and made an allowance for, then the answer is it'd probably make your ball flight better and better and better. However, if it's not been taken into account at the fitting that you're going to do some swing work and change a shot pattern, then it probably would need looking at, but it just depends how much of a change it is.
Noel, 1988. Evening, gents. No question this week. Just a good luck to Stu on his journey. We'll look forward to seeing his videos. Well, hopefully it goes better than that little display. Golf Nerd 3. Are you able to source the Iomic Sticky 1.8 question mark? Not sure if they supply this undersized model in Europe.
Good question. I'd have to double check. As you say, it's one that they haven't been very good at supplying in Europe. Being the undersized, it's something that obviously is massively available in Asia, but hasn't generally been available over here very much. But I'd have to double check with our suppliers as to whether they're stocking it now.
Have you guys watched Happy Gilmore 2? And can you do a Happy Gilmore swing?
Give it a go.
Don't matter,
What have we
does
got?
it? Yeah.
Is that you or me?
That's me, isn't it?
You.
That's me. I'll have a go with my Happy Gilmore swing off of that.
We can, might as well.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. Oh God, this is.
Jeremy Dale's very good at Happy Gilmore swing, but he's a trick shot artist.
Yeah, that's. Did you just say one? I was warming up. Right. Okay.
Yeah, just scoping it out.
Yeah, just scoping it out.
Tell you what, straighter than your normal one.
Yeah, it is straight.
Maybe it help you clear your left side to.
There you go. That'll do. I made contact.
Not bad.
It was a bit
Not
bit
bad.
toey.
It's about 250.
It was a bit.
Overshoot the green.
It was a bit toey. Don't worry, we're not playing for the score. Just,
water short left. Okay, right, here we go. As long as I don't catch it right out of the hosel and break the shaft.
Yeah,
Fine, isn't it?
yeah, I know.
You might want to go that
yeah,
side.
sorry, yeah. Stand back.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
You called it on the way back.
Oh, well, there's a line in from there.
Yeah, it opens the green up nicely. So there,
Hockey was a long time ago.
Yeah, Peter Kendall. Hi guys, can you hit the new Swixen? We'll do that in the second half, coming up there in next 5 minutes or so. So stay with us. Eric Wallace. Hey guys, hope all is well and welcome back. What are your thoughts on the MCC Align Max golf grips? I know most people use them for irons, but what about Woods Hybrids driver? Is it effective on those?
Yeah, it's effective on anything, as long as on the Woods and the Hybrids that you're not changing a setting that rotates the grip and the shaft. So, I mean, I've used a rib on my irons and woods and wedges for many, many, many years. It's something that I'm comfortable with. For me, the Max is a little bit too prominent. I don't like the feel of it. It feels a bit hard. But a lot of people liked it. So if it helps you feel like it sets in your hands more comfortably, then absolutely go for it.
Doug asks, hi guys, any tips to stop me going insane with my putting, holding 20 footers and missing 3 footers? The best way to
Play
go...
to 20 foot.
Yeah, best way to go is work on your face alignment. That will always be a great starting point. Get yourself hitting the spot from short range, and then from there, things will only turn better. Because normally, if you can't hold it from 3 feet, your face is offline, your stroke is trying to make up the allowance, then you can't read the green from 30 feet, 20 feet, and then your speed's half the cock. So I would start with alignment first with your putting, Doug. Sam J, putter fitting question for Simon. When fitting for putter, do you fit for grip 2 or just go with the stock grip?
We'll look at grip 2. I mean, the grip, the science behind grip actually shows it doesn't make a lot of difference to how you putt. However, it's got to feel comfortable in your hands. It's got to fit your hands well. So you tend to find if someone putts with a little bit more of a lead lag, so I putt with more of an arc, generally you're going to prefer a less big grip. If you tend to try and putt more, and no one putts generally square to square, but you putt with a bit less of an arc, then a slightly bigger grip feels a bit more stable. So as a generalisation, that's what you tend to see, but it's about comfort and feeling like it slots into your hands nicely.
Steve Knight, the left hand pushing down at setup, doesn't that take away from the dead arm feel? I don't know what the dead arm feel is, because your arms have got to do something in a backswing. So pushing down with the left hand and pulling up with your right hand is lifting the club head up off the floor. So you're actually loading your shoulders before you get moving. So if you want dead arms, that means you've got nothing in your hands at the start, which I wouldn't advise. So again, what does dead arms feel to you? To me, the last thing I would want to feel with a golf shot is dead arms. So again, everyone's different, but I would say that loading or pushing that grip down to lift the head up off the floor is something that loads your shoulders and starts to prime you in the same way as sort of take the strain would be with picking up a heavy object. So that's where I'd go with that if I was you. Anyway, moving on to, well, I hope that answers your question anyway on the dead arm feel. Let's go back over here. Jasper L, how much of an impact does moving the sure fit setting on a Titleist driver actually make? Would you expect the D3 setting to be materially different from A1?
So A1 is on the right hand is neutral standard. D3 So D3 is actually only 1 notch higher and most upright. So in principle, it's about a 1/2 to 3/4 of a degree actual loft change, and then the lie is going to go up about a degree as well in that respect. The answer is not a lot. Titleist as a brand are more of a kind of a softly in that respect. It's small incremental gains, so it's fine tune. It doesn't go as much as other brands do on the sleeve, so it does do a little bit, but it's a fine tune rather than you're not going to change it like, so the Cobras are 2 degrees, TaylorMade's 2 degrees in terms of loft, which opens the face up more. So it's more of a softer change than a bigger change like some of the other brands do.
Very good.
I think that answered it.
David O, if I may ask one more question. Of course, David. I'm looking for a thin-soled iron with the most offset that isn't a ping. Moderate forgiveness is nice, but the sole and the offset affect my strike the most.
Ooh, there aren't many of those around. So there's a Swiss brand called GMAR that do have some offset on their irons that isn't a ping. NRB2 of their range, GMAR spelled GIMAR, GMARgolf.com, I think it is, that are one, a great quality forging, but have not too wide a sole, not too much bounce, but a bit of offset. Yeah, offset's something that hasn't been around that much. It's coming back a little bit, but actually a narrow sole and offset, you tend to find wide sole and offset. So, yeah, well, if you discount ping, you aren't left with very much.
Very good. Sorry, there's an abrupt end.
Thought I was going to drone on for even longer there.
No, you're all good. The left rough, is there much of a balance point difference between the Dynamic Gold Mid 115 and the Project X 6.0?
Ooh, not a huge amount. Both are a little bit more bottom end. The Project X is going to feel a lot firmer. The mid section's a lot stiffer, and therefore it's going to feel a bit more stout. And it's 5 grams heavier. But the mid, I would say the mid probably swings a hair more tip heavy, but it's very small.
S. Blankski, Evening Musketeers. Just to say, if anyone out there is stalling on having Sir Simon Fit you. Not sure where. Sorry, Fit you. Just pull the trigger. The new Raging 2.0 driver shaft with the GT3 head has just given me a 300-yard rollout, and the new Sinister iron shafts are amazing. Just pull the trigger on it.
Very kind. Thank you, Steve.
Macca09, can Stuart explain how to hit a fade with a driver, please? I will do that next week. Alistair Cuthbertson, evening gents. Interested to see Lottie Wode's what's in the bag, and noticed her wedge shafts are around 95 grams with iron shafts around 120 grams. Seem to work, but would you consider this to be unusual?
I would consider it unusual. Her wedges are something that have been really strong for ages, and generally speaking, if you're pairing the swing back, you're often the same weight or slightly heavier. Now, I have seen instances where players have gone lighter, but it's around specific shot types, so it might be to be able to kind of flick the head underneath. So Xander Schauffele at the PGA Championship, he played a swing rate of D0 where his iron's like D4, D5. But that was to play a specific shot and create more speed with the club head and have the ball come out softer. But it is rare to go lighter in wedges. I think for her with her wedges, she's been deadly with wedges for years. And I just wonder whether that's a setup that she just doesn't want to touch. But it wouldn't be the norm, that's for sure.
Very good. Hey Simon, this is Morvs. I have a question with my iron shafts, currently in DG 120 S200, and my miss is a pull draw. Any shaft that I could try that would potentially get me more centre of the course?
So, I mean, the answer will be yes, but I wouldn't be sure which ones. I mean, so for a lot of players, you'd often go, okay, if it's left, is the shaft too light or is the balance too light? But actually, if you take me or Matt, who's our chap who hits it miles, if the club gets behind him, he flips it. So actually, going to something less tip heavy could help you not kind of over collect the head and flip the toe over. So the answer is, actually, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, you should definitely try this shaft, because it sounds like you're in a shaft that's already tip balanced, and so that kind of rules that one out. But you know, it may be something like a KBS Tour V. It's the same weight but less tip heavy, helps not fetch it, but it could be dead weight oriented as well. There are so many options that without seeing what's happening with you in the club and that interaction, I just wouldn't be able to give you a definite steer. But find someone who you can test with and give several options a go, because there will be something. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to say these are the two shafts to go to.
We'll head back now. It's gone the half past and do some of the club testing. Hi, gents. Nice colour coordination today. I'm surprised that nobody else has mentioned that so far. Could I trouble Simon to hit a few GT 280s versus the GT3, the GT2 3woods, please? I will be seeing you soon, so I want Simon to show me how it's done.
I think there were a couple of club comparisons earlier. So it's 280 versus the GT2 3wood, that one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have a little look further down for another club comparison, which I believe was in there. Bear with me while I just look for this, folks.
There are a couple of 6-iron, T250, 150 type.
Just looking for, I'm sure there was another club comparison that was
Tony
on there.
Bythway was one of them.
Sorry?
Tony Bythway was one of them.
Okay.
That was quite early on, though.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hit the T150 and the T250 and the Mizuno 245, please?
6-irons or 4-irons?
A 4. Good to know you have a 4-iron and a 6-iron heads. He doesn't ask.
Okay. 150, 250, 243 or 245?
T150, T250, and the Mizuno 245.
Okay, cool.
Interested in thoughts on feel, spin, flight, and sole width turf interaction. We'll give that a go.
I'll start off with the 6-irons, just because that'll be
Fabulous. See if there's any questions over there.
right.
No, all good.
Righty tighty. So T150. I mean So construction-wise, the T250 and the Mizuno 245, both hollow body, are more similar. So the 150 is, it's got that little channel in the back, but is a little bit of a neater head shape. 250 and 150 have got a decent bit of tungsten heel and toe, whereas the 245 doesn't have that kind of split mass element to it. Yeah, I would expect the T150 and the T245 and the Mizuno 245 to be relatively similar on performance. I think the 250 Titleist will be a bit lower spin, but certainly head shape, T150, very, 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 very clean, simple head shape. A bit out the toe, but it's very stable. I think that's one thing that the first gen did pretty well, and this is augmented. We've got about another 10%, I think it is, of mass in the tungsten pockets either side. So it just makes it very, very stable for a head of this shape. A little bit of click because of the tungsten, but nice and efficient. It's a very, very neutral launch and spin, pretty forgiving of a head shape. They have gone a little more bounce on this year's T150. So that's something to potentially take into account if you play on tight, firm turf or you don't hit down on the ball that much, that possibly there's a little bit more back edge involved on the T150 this year. But generally speaking, it's not a major consideration because hopefully you're getting ball before turf. So T250 that'll hit now, a little more hollow because it's hollow, and a little bit more mass heel and toe. Definitely got it's a completely different construction. More of a bomber in terms of head. So that one was at 175 at 87 miles an hour. Very different sound because of the construction. So kind of more clicky and hollowed out. So we've got same club speed. It's going 5 yards further, but it's 500 revs lower spin. So definitely if you struggle getting strike up the face, this is going to feel a lot easier to get the strike higher up the face because there's more mass on the bottom. But if you want something kind of soft feeling, it's not going to be this head. And then it's flipped to 245. And that one, there's not, I mean, so turf interaction wise, I mean, you're pretty, other than sole width, I think there are a lot of players that just wouldn't notice a particular difference. It's more about forgiveness across the face than turf interaction. So, but the Mizuno definitely has more of a graduated back edge. So if you're looking for a bit more forgiveness from the head and something that doesn't get too clumsy, it's not quite as wide. The back edge rounds off a little bit more. You know, head shape, this and the T250, pretty similar, but a little less kind of hollowed out and clicky and hard feeling. For me, I got a bit more punch off the face with that. Launched a little bit lower than the T250, but 100 revs more spin. So for me, felt a little bit more solid, but I get on top of it a touch more. So I think if you get on top of it a bit more, the 245 will feel nicer. If you pick it a bit more, T250 might feel easier to flight. But you've got a softer frame, so softer feel, probably a little bit more forgiveness at the T250. I hope that helps.
Very good. Then you've got those wood heads to go with.
Right. So let's go. I'll go GT2 Fairway wood first. So one of the things with the GT280 is it is very much, Titleist described it as a 2-wood. So it's a little bit more compact than the other mini driver heads other than the PXG, but designed to be usable off the ground. Now obviously GT2 Fairway wood is a fairway wood. Sounds like a stupidly obvious comment, but that smaller head just helps get the mass sat a little bit lower and getting to the bottom of the ball off the ground. So if we're looking at it as a fairway wood, the GT2 picks it up really easily. Certainly of Titleist, that was a bit toey. Of Titleist fairway woods, this one, they prioritise getting that centre of mass low to pick the ball up and to collect it, and not to be, as I'll do one more with that, not to be as spinny low off the face. Good, I'm leaving everything open now. But yeah, picks it up easily. There are other heads out there that will be slightly better low on the face. If you get it up the face, this is a really nice fairway wood. But it's certainly kind of mid-launch, pretty mid-spin, but very easy to flight. If I switch to the 280, remember that's got to use the driver sleeve. There we go. So
This is the Titleist mini driver equivalent, is it?
Yes. Well, it's, yeah, mini driver, very much sort of 2-wood they call it, but yeah,
Right.
Essentially, yeah, mini driver
Mini
equivalent.
driver, but they don't call it mini driver like the others do.
No, so very much so 2-wood is their comment on it. So it's essentially designed to be, it's not designed to be a low spin kind of driver-like flight. It's designed to retain a little bit of spin. And you know, it's got things like the L face, which strengthens the bottom and makes it better low on the face. So they want it as a higher, sort of moderate spin, softer landing. That's what it was designed to do, rather than be a mini driver and bomb. So with the TaylorMade, if you put the weight forward, it's pretty low spin. Yeah. But this one, with the head size as it is and the flatter sole, in principle, better off the ground. Right. So we shall see.
Yes.
So, I mean, actually, the one thing, the size of the head, the height of it off the ground, I think for a lot of players could be quite intimidating. There's a lot
quite deep, isn't
it sits above the ball. but actually does collect it off the ground pretty well. So ball speed wise will be fine. 148 efficiency, but as you can see, it's a fairly strong flight, and being deeper faced, catching it high enough up the face to get the low spin is harder to achieve. So it very much is playable off the ground, but you're not using it as a low spin cannon. It's a mid spin, kind of know what it's going to do when it lands kind of shot. Really geared at the highest, for me, the higher speed player rather than the moderate speed player.
Very
there
good.
we go.
Okay.
But very pretty.
Where are we now? So we are. So I think I've done morphs. Yeah, CP74. Simon, I have a Paradigm with a Modus 105S. Can you recommend an equivalent head and shaft of latest irons to give the same or better performance? New irons seem to be more offset.
So not wanting more offset. If the shaft works well for you, the Modus 105S, we do that a lot. It's a really, really good quality shaft. Nip-on are great for tolerances. So if that works well, don't change it. Head-wise, if you're looking for a Paradigm performance with less offset, T250 is a pretty good option, certainly. Maybe a ZXi5, ZXi4, one of those, probably ZXi5, isn't a million miles off, and that'll have a bit less offset. The Paradigm is pretty low spin. Actually with Callaway, the AI200, that's also a solid option as well. It just depends, say, what visual you want to see. But there are a lot of good heads out there this year. So, it's a tough one to kind of pick one head and shoulders above the other. But if you're looking for the low spin performance of the Paradigm, AI200 is pretty good.
John Puckett, Ventus Blue TR6X. I'm not a fan of the softer handle compared to the red and black. Would a Z core grip fool me into feeling the handle is stiffer than it actually is?
Frankly, the TR is a stable handle end. So across all the Ventus lines, and whilst in principle, it might be marginally less stiff than a red or a black. A quarter grip, you're going to get less twist in it. It might feel a little bit tighter. But it's a pretty stout handle end anyway. So, quarter grip will firm it up a little bit, but it's whether it just feels too harsh in your hands. If not, from a stiff handle point of view, there's not a lot else. There aren't many places to go versus the TR series, to be fair. So, yeah.
Evening, guys. This is Pro V1 David. Would a more spinny golf ball half to gain height and decent angle? If so, could you recommend some? Evening, guys. Would a more spin? We actually said, would a spinner golf ball half to gain height and decent angle? If so, could you recommend some?
So spinning a ball, playing a higher spin ball will absolutely help you with peak height, land angle, control. If you're looking for maximum height and launch angle, as well as at the top end of the bag, as well as the mid end, I think the Pro V1X is a very good ball for that across the board. The highest spin for irons that I've seen without affecting driver spin too much is the Z-Star Diamond. That's really good. But Pro V1X is good. The Bridgestone, the Torby XS is good for a softer feel as well. Mizuno did a ball. Not sure whether they're still doing it, but Mizuno did a ball a few years back that added about 1,000 revs of spin versus a Pro V1. But it did cut up horribly. But that was a pretty good ball. But for me, the Z-Star Diamond with irons, that's the highest spin that I've seen.
September 7917 PM. I'm sure it means something to you. Hi guys, I play off 3 and have been playing my current Mizuno 923 Forge for the last year. I've been getting a lot of toe strikes. Can this be caused by being fitted into the wrong shaft?
Definitely, maybe. There are a number of things. It can be action-based. It can be postural in terms of being stood too far away from the ball. It could be, ultimately there are a number of things it could be. I wouldn't want to kind of throw anyone under the bus from a fitting point of view when it very much could be technique. No, but it could be so many things rather than just the wrong shaft. It could be the wrong swing weight. It could be, you know, just a grip change that affects the balance of the club. It could be shaft as well. So, but you're more likely to find strike being variable if it's the wrong shaft rather than just a toe miss, I would say.
Golf Nerd 3, Simon, have you come across players who actually become more handsy with bigger grips, even though it's against the conventional theory?
I think in golf anything's possible. I think sometimes the effect of going bigger on the grip can, if it affects the balance of the club and makes it lighter, then yeah, that can cause you to flip. Ultimately, if a grip doesn't suit your hand size and comfort in the hands, then it will affect your patterns through the ball. And for some, like for me, if I go too big, I just can't square it up and it goes straight right. Depending on what it does in transition, it can make you have to kind of catapult it over and fetch it. But ultimately, it just affects the fluidity of your action and therefore the consistency of the club face. So, but it can go either way. Yes, I'm certain it could make some players more handsy.
Mark Howard, evening. I have a 5th gen Kuro Cage silver 60 driver shaft.
Pretty good effort, that. Yep.
How's it pronounced?
Kage. Kurakage.
Kurakage.
Think of it in Japanese, how they pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I don't speak Japanese. 60 driver shaft in OK at the moment, but looking at Ventus blue shaft, is there much of a difference, or what other shafts would you recommend that are similar?
Yeah, so the Ventus is going to feel a little bit firmer. The Kurakage Silver Series was always if you go back to the original kind of prototype one, was always quite a smooth feeling shaft. Pretty good for spin. The Ventus, the 2nd generation won't feel quite as firm in comparison, as firm as the 1st gen in comparison, but it's still structured a little bit more stout. But balance-wise, the Silver Series is always pretty neutral. I would say it would probably be worth possibly a Diamana Blue Board Series. You still get a little bit of kick through it, but it's tight through impact. Wouldn't be a bad option to try as well.
Matt Gibson asks, thanks for your answers earlier. You're welcome. Another question for you both. What is it do you think about the tailor-made fairway woods that make them so popular on tour? I have no clue.
Ball speed, they're very good. Tailor-made fairway woods have always been very good. They've been one of the leading lights in that for years. They're good for spin. So for a lot of the players, it might allow them to go a little bit higher loft, but keep the spin down. But you know, they've kept a kind of glued hosel for tour. So like QI10, that's why that's very popular, because it's got a glued hosel rather than an adjustable one, which might explain why some haven't switched to QI35, even though quite a few have. But yeah, ball speed always very good, and spin control, they don't flare spin up very much. So that's why, generally speaking, for higher ball speeds, they're great heads.
Rishi, hello both. Hello Rishi. I have improved a lot with my club path control, keeping it in the range of positive to -3. But my face angle feels out of control. It sounds like if you've got a 6-degree disparity with your path, that is out of control. So whilst that might have improved, having a path that's going left 3 and right 3 is reacting to what you're about to go on to say. Face angle is out of control. The face angle, or should I say the path, is reacting to your face angle. Tendency is low positive path, but big negative face angle. Thank you very much. There was no question in there, but I assume you're saying, what can you do to fix it? Goodness, it'd be arrows in a dartboard with my eyes closed. We wouldn't really have a clue. You'd need to know a bit more about your swing, really, tendencies. So we can't give you a little bit more than that. Nigel, good evening, gents. Good evening, Nigel. Can you compare a TPT Nitro 15 high to a TPT Power 15 high? Many thanks.
Right.
Golf Nerd 3, can we get Stuart involved in some of the hitting while Simon does the explanation? Could do. Simon's got the hitting down pat. He's a young man. He's a young man. How old are you, Simon?
45.
He's 5 years younger than me. 5 years younger than me. He's up for hitting. I'm happy to hit. But Simon's got all of the insights and the feels to all of these different shafts. So I think, you know, he's doing this day in, day out. I mean, I'm happy to hit them, but I just don't think that I've got the insights that Simon has on the equipment. That's why we kind of do it that way. I'm happy to get involved in the technical side and in terms of the swing technique and demo and explain on that side of it. But I think for hitting the golf equipment and knowing what it should be giving back, Simon is way more educated on that than I am. Hope that's okay and that it makes sense. Golf Nerd 3. Peter Kendall. Hi guys, you missed my question. Where did I miss Peter's question?
There was one, I think, yeah.
Let's have a look. Sorry, Peter. Not intentional, I can assure you. Hi guys, can you hit the new Srixon high launch irons?
Srixon high launch. Now, the only irons, I'm not aware of any new launches other than they've got the ZXI series, the 4, 5 and 7. So unless it's the 4s. If you can clarify if it's the ZXI 4s, I'll give these a quick hit and then I'll grab it and...
Got 5 minutes.
Yep.
Keep it.
So generally speaking, the difference between the red range, the power range and the nitro structurally a little bit more stable but a little bit lighter. So red range, power range, slightly more responsive. So red range is sort of 72 grams and the 15, I think, in the nitro is sort of 65 odd. So this is heavier than I play, but the red range and the highs are very smooth, very inoffensive profile. You get a little bit of response from it. In the lighter weights, you get a decent bit of kick, but just kind of pops it up a little bit. But it's a really smooth feeling shaft, which is why in the lighter weights, very, very popular for moderate to lower swing speeds because you feel like you get a bit of kick, but the effective torque at impact is very low. So they play more stable at impact than the torque rating states. So in the nitro, design is a little bit more stout, lighter and stiffer feeling, stiffer playing. So, weight's more familiar for me, but definitely into this one, it's got a harder feel. And if you've got to work the shaft a little harder for it to give you much back, a little lower spin, which is what the design principle is, but a much more stout feel in the red range, in the nitro range.
Mark Blass asks, hi guys, ZTX Blue TR on 3 would need more height without too much spin. Any recommendations?
So ZTX?
ZTX Blue TR on 3 wood.
Oh, 7TX Blue as in Ventus, I'm assuming. Need more height. I mean, the Ventus TR Blue 7 in a TX is a pretty stout, firm, heavy shaft that is designed to keep the flight down. If you wanted a similar weight, you're not going to get the same feel, but you're going to have to go to something like a red TR or something like that to get a bit more kick from the tip. But even then, it might just be a head profile that you need to more loft, or a higher launching head will make much more difference than the shaft will.
Did I say ZTX then?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No wonder I look confused.
Yes, sorry.
I'll get the head I think Peter Kendall meant.
Perfect, perfect. MS Ali Nerd, do you think ball fittings are worthwhile? If so, have Precision Golf ever considered offering it?
We've considered offering it, and in principle, yeah, it is absolutely worthwhile doing. The problem for us, from a business point of view, is a ball fitting to do it properly, would take an hour and a half, 2 hours, and for the amount we'd have to charge for it, it's the same as a wood fitting because of the amount of time in the fitting that it takes up. And the margin, of course, do you need higher launch, higher spin, lower launch, lower spin, higher launch, lower spin, all those bits, and then how much you want to pay for a ball. You can, within a full bag fit, we can determine down to a couple of balls what is likely to suit you. So you do have to go through driver, certainly mid-iron, wedges, to look at where someone's spin profile is across the board and what ball might suit as well as how much you want to spend. So it's a lot of time that, unfortunately, you have to spend a lot of time to get an answer, and that, from a business point of view, right now, with the capacity we've got, doesn't quite make sense, but it is something that's doable. So I've grabbed for Peter the ZXi 4 because I think that's the one you mean. It's a hollow body construction designed to be a little bit more forgiving than ZXi5. It's actually quite a neat head shape. Softer feeling than most other hollow bodies. But as you can see, for me, 4,500 revs of spin, 17 launch. Considering where the loft is, that's not bad at all. It's still not a massively high launching, high spinning club, but you get plenty of forgiveness for your buck with a head that isn't silly low spin out of that one, and I hope that was the head you meant. A nice feeling head as well.
And last question is, some questions come through on my channel. I will get those answered for you, and I'll send them directly. Golf Nerd asked, the iPad just run out. Golf Nerd asks, what blades have a longer blade?
Ooh, the Strixons are a little bit longer, but they're quite low spin. Yeah, Cobra's quite short. Longer blade length. Trying to think if there are any that really stand out. There's none that are really noticeably longer. Mark, what any longer length blade heads? I haven't got one.
Just talk amongst yourselves, just while we get an answer.
The answer is that there aren't any that are demonstrably. I'll have a think. I'll have a look, and is it Miss Ali Nerd, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, and I will email you if I can think of any in particular. S3. Mark thinks the S3 Mizuno very slightly longer, but there's not an awful lot in it. I think the Strixon one, Z forged. Yeah. Possibly tailor-made, but yeah, Strixon more than any. I think.
This week, Royal Porthcawl, the Ladies AIG Open down in Wales. Fantastic course. Good friend of mine's a member there. Played it many times. Huge changes to the golf course. Really brought it up to spec, to time with really what you would consider with great golf course. It's going to be a great week. Pick a winner.
Lottie Woad.
Fantastic. I think Charlie's going to win it. She's going to go forwards and kick on, and hopefully you've enjoyed this evening. Feels like it's gone super quick. We've had a lot of questions come in. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, and we will be back next week, 6 p.m. Bring a friend. Tell them we play bad golf, good golf. We answer great questions, and James does a cracking job on the edits. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.